Hello everyone, welcome to our new section. In this section, I am going to take you through a journey and teach you everything you need to know about transformer, from the basics to the more advanced concepts. So, by the end of this section, you will be able to attend any types of questions coming in a competitive exams. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe as we upload new videos all the time. Now, let's jump in and get started.
As we all know that electrical energy is generated in places where resources are abundantly available and that can be in a remote area far away from populated areas. So it is necessary to transport the electrical energy at considerable distance without much losses. For this purpose, we require to step up the voltage at generating station and step down the voltage at consumer side. For this purpose, we use transformer. In our country, the electrical energy is usually generated at 11 kV and it is stepped up to 220 kV or 400 kV or 765 kV with the help of step up transformers for transmission and step down to 66 kV or 33 kV at grid substations for feeding various substations, which further step down the voltage to 11 kV for distributing transformers. Further, stepping down the voltage to 400 or 230 volts for the consumer users. Next, we are going to discuss the applications of transformer. First one is instrument transformer, such as current transformer and potential transformer, is used for metering purpose. Second one, isolated transformer, that is one-to-one ratio transformers, is used to electrically isolate the two parts of an electrical circuit. Third one is testing transformer. In high voltage laboratories, transformer provides very high voltages for testing purposes. Then fourth one, input transformer, interstage transformers and output transformers are used in radio and television circuits. Then the fourth one, transformers are also used in telephone circuits, instrumentation circuits and control circuits. Then the sixth one is in electric communication circuits, transformers are employed for a variety of purposes. Example as an impedance transformer device to allow maximum transfer of power from the input circuit to the output circuit. Definition of transformer. It is a static device that transfers same amount of electrical power from one electric circuit to another by keeping its frequency constant. In some textbooks, transformer is mentioned as a machine. So what is the difference between a device and a machine? In case of machine, it converts one form of energy into another. For example, in the case of motor, it converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. In the case of generator, it converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. But what is the case of transformer? Is there any conversion of energy is taken place? In the case of transformer, we are given electrical energy as an input and its output is also electrical energy. But internally, an electromagnetic conversion is happening inside the transformer. Then let's move to its characteristics. First one is static device. Since its basic construction record no moving parts, so it is often called the static transformer. Second one, rugged device. So it requires minimum amount of repair and maintenance. Third one, high efficiency. Lack of rotating parts, there are no friction or windage losses. So that the efficiency of a transformer is high. At full load, typical transformer efficiency lies between 96% and 97%, and with extremely large transform, they may be as high as 99%. Then the fourth one is economical as compared to other electrical machines. The cost per kVA output of transformers is quite low as compared with other electrical machines. Since there are no teeth slots or rotating parts and the winding, it is not difficult to insulate transformer for high voltages. Fifth one is constant frequency. Next one, constant power. Then magnetically coupled. Then constant flex. This will make it clear when we are discussing the operation principle of a transformer. Then the ninth one is singly excited. It can be represented using 4-terminal and 2-port network. Let's move to the construction of a transformer. The type of construction adapted for transformers is related to the purpose for which these are to be used: winding voltage, current rating, and operating frequencies. Main parts of a transformer for the understanding the operating principle are core and windings, or just we can say that the active parts of a transformer. These are transformer core and windings. The other essential parts or the auxiliary parts include Buchholz relay, conservator or expansion tank, temperature gauge, oil gauge, breather, bushings, tapping, main tank, radiator. In most of the interviews, we can expect at least one or two questions from this area. Then let's discuss with transformer core. Silicon steel is the basic material used for making the transformer core. Then why silicon steel? We all know that steel is a good magnetic material as well as a good conductor of current. The time varying flux pressure in the core induces an EMF in the core which results in a circulating current. This circulating current in the transformer core is called eddy current, and the losses due to the eddy current is called the eddy current loss. In order to reduce this eddy current, that is by reducing the conductivity without destroying its magnetic property, it is required to add a 4 to 5% of silica to the steel. If the percentage of silicon content increases, then the steel becomes more brittle. Lamination technique is used to further reduce the eddy current loss. That is the cross-sectional area for the flow of current get reduced. Transformer core is made of thin strips is called laminations, and insulating materials such as oxide paints, inorganic paints and impregnated papers. Impregnated means the papers which are dipped in transformer oil. Then it becomes more dielectric, which are provided between the laminations for the electrical isolation. The process of bunging all laminations to get record shape, that is the cruciform shape, let's discuss it later, is called core staggering. We require a proper core staggering. Otherwise, it leads to increased excitation current. That is by reluctance for the flow of flux path increases due to the air gaps. And second, it leads to magnetic hum or noise. Core shape can be stepped form or cruciform form because it reduces the size, weight and cost of transformer. It has more utilization factor, amount of winding is get reduced, a less insulating material. The next property of silicon steel is ferromagnetic material, that is the superior property of magnets. The next, high permeability and low reluctance to flow of flux. So low excitation current is only required. Then it has a very low hysteresis loss. Since its hysteresis coefficient is low, that is for silicon it is 1.6. The next, its crystalline structure. Due to this structure, permeability get increased. The permeability of silicon steel depends on the orientation of magnetization. A heat treatment process called rolling grain orientation is used to increase the overall permeability of silicon steel. And the resulting steel is called CRGO steel. Therefore, the transformer is generally made of CRGO steel only, so that we can achieve high flux densities. Let's see how it comes. By the equation, flux phi is equal to flux density B into area of cross section A. We know that flux is constant, so the flux density get increased. So that and the area A get reduces. So that only a small amount of excitation current is required for silicon steel. In corresponding, size and weight of the transformer can be reduced. Based on the magnetic circuits, transformer core can be classified into core type and shell type. Then let's discuss what is the difference between core type and shell type. Core type transformer. It has one window and two limbs. While I am explaining the features of both considerations, you guys have to picturize it in your minds. Okay, let's continue. It has one window and two limbs. That is, method of construction involves series magnetic circuit. Second one is core is surrounded by windings. That is, half of primary winding and half of secondary winding are placed around each limb. Third one is so that leakage flux is more, hence power transfer capability is less. What is leakage flux? Leakage flux, that is the flux passing through the air. Okay. Then the next point is cross-sectional area of both limbs are same. So equal amount of magnitude or equal magnitude of flex get transferred. Then next point is coefficient of coupling is less. Then the next point is it requires more copper and less insulating material. And it is economical for high voltage and for small kVA rating transformer. For example, 50 kVA, 4000 but 2000 volt is an example for this core type transformer. Next, we can discuss about the shell type transformer. It has two windows and three limbs. That is, the method of construction involves parallel magnetic circuit. Then next point is windings are surrounded by core. That is, both the windings are placed around the central limb, and the other two limbs act as a low reluctance flux path. Next point is leakage flux is less, hence power transfer capability is more. Next point is the size of the central limb is about double that of outer limbs. So the central limb carries wall of flux, whereas the side limbs carry half of the flux. Next point is its coefficient of coupling is more. Then it requires less copper and more insulating material. And it is economical for low voltage and large kVA rating transformer. And 100 kVA, 2000 bar, 400 volt is an example for this shell type transformer. Then next we can discuss about the transformer windings. Annealed copper or annealed aluminum is used for making transformer windings. Annealing is the heat treatment process for reducing the brittleness and to provide flexibleness for the winding. For the easiness to say, I will use simply the copper and aluminum instead of annealed copper and annealed aluminum. The power transformers are handling a bulk amount of power. So it requires high efficiency, that is efficiency is equal to 98 to 99%, and also low resistance as compared to aluminum. Even though copper is more expensive than aluminum, the windings of a power transformer are made up of copper. In the case of distributed transformer, which handles less amount of power, so efficiency can be between 94 to 95%. That is by sacrificing its efficiency in order to reduce the cost of transformer. So aluminum is used for making windings in distribution transformer. Are similar to the lamination in the transformer core, windings are not made up of single solid conductor. Instead, windings are made up of stranded conductors to reduce stray load losses without affecting its total current carrying capacity. These stranded layers are insulated from one another using an enamel paint. Stranded conductors are also useful to reduce skin effect. Skin effect is the non-uniform distribution of alternating current. Due to skin effect, resistance get increased. That is, solid conductor get divides into outer section and inner section. That is, outer section offers low flux linkages, low inductance and low inductive reactance. Whereas the inner section offers high flux linkages, high inductance, high inductive reactance. So current passes more through the outer section than inner section. Skin effect is proportional to square of the diameter of conductor. Then let's discuss about core type transformer. As we already discussed, in core type transformer, half of LV winding is placed on one limb and other half of is placed on other limb. This process is called interleaving of windings. Moreover, half of LV, that is low voltage, and half of high voltage placed on both limbs concentrically. This is called concentric winding. The method employed in core type transformer is called interleaved and concentric winding. The main purpose of employing this kind of winding procedure is to reduce magnetic leakage flux. In concentric winding procedure, LV winding is placed nearer to the core so that it reduces the quantity of insulating material. Second, it reduces the quantity of copper required for windings. Since size, weight, and cost of transformer reduces, it reduces the leakage flux in the transformer. It makes an easy access for tappings. We all know that tappings are provided on the high voltage winding, so we can get smooth variation of transformer. Since the current in the HV winding is low, so the sparking level is low during tap changing process. Then what is the difference between sparking and arcing? Sparking is the sudden interruption of current, whereas arcing it is the sudden interruption of voltage. Windings are placed on the limbs in such a manner that they are mechanically stable. That is, windings placed on the same limb carry currents in opposite direction. Then next we discuss about the shell type core. The winding technique employed in shell type transformer is called sandwiching. That is, each winding is divided into certain sections and are alternately placed on middle limb. This can reduce magnetic leakage flux by improving coefficient of coupling between windings. As compared to the core type transformer, in shell type transformer, the leakage flux is less because height of window is more as compared to its width. That is, it can be defined as a window factor. It is equal to height of window divided by width of window. Is always need to be greater than 1. The next, insulation. The life of the unit depends on the quality, durability, and handling of insulation material. The insulating materials are paper, pressboard, cloth, mica, asbestos, paints, and impregnating compounds. Impregnating compounds means the compounds which are dipped in oil so that it acts as a dielectric. Insulation used in a transformer can be classified into two groups. First one is major insulation and second one is minor insulation. Major insulation includes the insulation provided between windings and earth parts. That is the insulation provided between low voltage winding and core and between high voltage winding and yoke, and the insulation between the windings. Minor insulation includes the insulation provided between the elements of a given winding, such as conductor insulation, insulation between turns, layers, and coils. Then next we can discuss about the insulating oil or transformer oil. The transformer oil is obtained by fractional distillation of crude oil, petroleum. It provides additional insulation, cooling, and protects the insulation from moisture and dirt. Then, what are the features of transformer oil? First one is high dielectric strength. Second, low viscosity to provide better cooling. The next, high flash point, that is the temperature at which oil vapor ignites spontaneously, that it should not be less than 135 degrees Celsius. Then last one is good resistance to emulsion. The next we can discuss the tank. It is the container of a transformer which carries core, winding, oil and internal connections with appropriate electrical clearance. Then next we can discuss about the conservator or expansion tank. Conservator is a small auxiliary oil tank that may be mounted above the transformer and connected to the main tank by a pipe. Its function is to keep the main tank of the transformer completely filled with oil in all circumstances, despite expansion or contraction of oil with the changes in temperature. Normally, the capacity of conservator should be approximately 10 to 12% of the oil volume of the main tank. The next we can discuss temperature gauge. It is to indicate hot oil or hottest spot temperature. It is a self-contained weatherproof unit made with alarm contacts. The next we can discuss the oil gauge. It is to indicate oil level and it is to provide with the alarm contacts which give an alarm when the oil level has dropped beyond permissible level due to oil leak or damage of cooler. Then next we can discuss the breather. The air entering the transformer is made moisture free by letting it pass through an apparatus called the breather. A breather consists of a small container connected to the vent pipe and contains a dehydrating material like silica gel crystals impregnated with chloride. The material is blue when dry and changes to whitish pink when it wets. The next we can discuss Buchholz relay or gas operated relay. Please try to note this is one of the most important component in the transformer. So it is the gas and oil actuated protective device which is used to detect the internal faults in a transformer. It is placed in between main tank and conservator. Then next we can discuss about the bushings. Transformers are connected to high voltage lines and therefore care is to be taken to prevent flashover from the high voltage connections to the earth and tank. For overhead connections are to be brought through bushings especially designed for different classes of voltage. The next we can discuss oil TC or NRA. Oil TC, it is the on load tap changer or the no load ratio adjuster. Oil TC is used along with transformer so that output voltage can be varied over a small range for constant input voltage. The tap leads of the tap winding are being connected to the oil TC tap selector. Oil TC is usually connected to the HV side. The next we can discuss the cooling arrangement. Depending upon the rating of transformer, different types of cooling are adapted. In many cases, separately mounted cooler banks are used. It consists of cooler connecting pipes, radiators, fans, and pumps, etc. The next we can discuss the control panels. Usually the two control panels are provided with power transformer for controlling oil TC operation and cooling control action. Okay, let's wind up the section now and we can practice various questions asked in competitive exams such as gauge, UPSC, etc. Then we can continue the section with operating principle of transformer. Hope you follow my classes. If you have any suggestions, please comment it in the comment box. Don't forget to share it with others. And for more basic information on electrical, keep watching our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.